Most senior travelers walk into the airport trusting that the airline will tell them everything important. But that is the mistake. Airlines will tell you your gate number. They will tell you your boarding group. They will tell you where to drop your bag. But they will not always stop and say, by the way, you may qualify for extra help. You may not have to pay for that. You may have more options if this flight is delayed. And you may want to ask this question before you accept that voucher. That is why so many older travelers end up paying extra, walking farther than they should, standing in the wrong line, or accepting the first answer they are given. Not because they did anything wrong, because nobody told them what to ask for. So in this video, I'm going to show you 7 flying secrets every traveler over 60 should know before their next trip. And make sure you stay until number 1, because that one matters when your trip goes wrong. Number 7, ask for airport help before you are exhausted. This is one of the biggest mistakes senior travelers make. They wait too long to ask for help. They get dropped off at the airport, they walk to the airline counter, they wait in line, they carry their bag, they go through security. They walk to the gate, then the gate changes. Then they walk again. By the time they finally admit they need help, they are already tired, frustrated, and maybe even embarrassed. But here is what many people do not realize. Airport assistance is not only for someone who cannot walk at all, it can also be for someone who has trouble with long distances, balance, breathing, pain, heavy bags, tight connections, or medical concerns. That is a huge difference. You do not need to wait until you are struggling. You can request help ahead of time. And for many seniors, this can change the entire airport experience. Instead of guessing where to go, rushing through crowds, or trying to find the right terminal alone, you may be able to get assistance moving through the airport. The key is to ask early. When you book your flight, look for an option that says special assistance, mobility assistance, wheelchair assistance, or traveler assistance. If you do not see it, call the airline. And use this phrase, I may need mobility assistance getting through the airport. Can you add that to my reservation? That phrase is calm, clear, and specific. You are not saying, I need special treatment. You are saying, I need help getting through the airport safely. There is a big difference. And if you are traveling with a spouse, parent, or older family member, do not wait until the day of the flight to bring this up. Ask them before the trip. Would it make the airport easier if we requested assistance? A lot of seniors will say no at first because they do not want to feel like a burden. But remind them, the service exists for exactly this reason. The airport is not a test of pride. The goal is not to prove you can walk the whole thing. The goal is to arrive calm, safe, and with enough energy left to actually enjoy the trip. And this connects directly to number 6, because even if you can handle the walking, security can still become the most stressful part of the airport. Number 6, do not wait until the TSA line to explain your medical situation. This one is important. Security is where many senior travelers get nervous. Maybe you have a knee replacement, maybe you have a pacemaker, maybe you wear hearing aids, maybe you carry medication, medical equipment, insulin, a CPAP machine, or something that cannot simply be tossed into a bin like a normal item. And what happens? You get to the front of the line, people are rushing behind you, bins are moving, shoes are coming off, agents are giving instructions, and suddenly you are trying to explain a medical situation in the middle of airport chaos. That is the worst time to explain it. The better move is to prepare before you ever reach the airport. TSA has a program called TSA Cares. It is designed to help travelers who have disabilities, medical conditions, or special circumstances understand what to expect during screening. But here is the part many travelers miss. You should contact them before your flight, ideally at least 72 hours ahead of time. That gives you a better chance of getting guidance before the stressful moment happens. This does not mean security disappears. It does not mean you skip every rule. But it can help you know what to expect and what to say when you arrive. And when you get to security, use this phrase. I contacted TSA Cares for this flight. Can you connect me with the passenger support officer? Say it calmly. Say it early. Do not wait until there is already confusion. If you have medication, keep it organized. If you have medical devices, know how to explain them simply. If you have documents from your doctor or device card, keep them easy to reach. The point is not to argue. The point is to avoid being caught unprepared. A lot of stress at the airport comes from not knowing what is going to happen next. And for senior travelers, reducing stress is not a small thing. It can be the difference between starting your trip calmly or starting it completely drained. Now, number 5 is especially important for travelers 75 and older, because some people are making the security process harder than it needs to be. Number 5, if you are 75 or older, ask about modified screening. Many travelers over 75 do not realize this. TSA may offer modified screening for passengers 75 and older. But here is where people get confused. They assume the airport will automatically explain everything. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they do not. Sometimes one airport feels simple and another airport feels completely different. That is why the smartest thing to do is ask. When you arrive at security, say, "I'm over 75. Is modified screening available here?" That is it. One simple question. You are not demanding anything. You are not trying to skip the line. You are asking what screening process applies to you. This matters because airports can be inconsistent from the traveler's point of view. Maybe last time you kept your shoes on. Maybe this time an officer gives different instructions. Maybe you are unsure whether your jacket needs to come off. Instead of guessing, ask. The goal is to avoid confusion before it starts. And if you are traveling with an older parent or grandparent, this is a great thing to remind them before the trip. A lot of older travelers get flustered because they are trying to follow instructions quickly. They do not want to hold up the line. They do not want people staring, so they rush. They remove things they may not need to remove. They forget items in the bin. They get separated from their bag. They feel embarrassed. And the whole experience becomes more stressful than it needs to be. So before security, slow down. Take a breath. Ask the question. "I'm over 75. Is modified screening available here?" That question can make the process feel much more manageable. And now we get to number 4, which happens at the gate, and this is where many seniors accidentally make flying harder on themselves because they are trying to be polite. Number 4, ask for extra time boarding before boarding starts. A lot of senior travelers make this mistake. They wait until their boarding group is called. Then they stand up, gather their bag, find their boarding pass, walk into the line, get on the plane, and suddenly they feel rushed. There are people behind them. The aisle is narrow. The overhead bins are filling. Someone is waiting to get past. The flight attendant is trying to keep the line moving. And now the senior traveler is trying to lift a bag, find a seat, remove medication or glasses or a sweater, and sit down while everyone else is watching. That is a terrible situation. Not because the traveler did anything wrong, because boarding is designed to move quickly. But not every person moves at the same speed. If you need extra time, ask before boarding begins. Do not wait until your group is called. Walk up to the gate agent early and say, "I may need a little extra time boarding. Can I pre-board?" That phrase works because it is simple. You are not asking for a better seat. You are not asking to cut the line just because you want to. You are saying you need extra time. That is the point. Extra time can matter a lot. It gives you time to walk down the jet bridge without rushing. It gives you time to find your route. It gives you time to put your personal item under the seat. It gives you time to ask for help if your bag is too heavy. And it lowers the chance of a fall, a dropped item, or a stressful start to the flight. Here is the important part. Do not feel guilty for asking. The plane is not leaving faster because you rushed, and the trip is not better because you struggled silently. If boarding slowly makes the flight safer and calmer, ask for the extra time. Also, if you are traveling with someone older, do not say, "Come on, hurry up." That makes it worse. Instead, go to the gate agent together and ask early. The best airport travelers are not the fastest ones. They are the ones who prepare before the stressful moment arrives. Now, number 3 is where a lot of seniors accidentally lose money because airlines make this part feel normal. Number 3, stop paying for seats before asking this question. This one can cost people money before they even get to the airport. You book a flight online. Then the airline shows you the seat map. Some seats are gray, some seats cost extra, some seats look unavailable, some seats are labeled preferred, some are closer to the front, some are aisle seats. And suddenly it feels like if you do not pay right now, you are going to get stuck in the worst seat on the plane. That feeling is not an accident. Airlines are very good at making seat selection feel urgent. But before a senior traveler pays extra for a seat, they should ask one question. Are there any seating accommodations available because of mobility or medical needs? That is the phrase. Not, "Can I get a free upgrade?" Not, "Can I have the best seat?" Not, "Can you move me to first class?" The phrase is, "Are there any seating accommodations available because of mobility or medical needs?" Why does this matter? Because for some travelers, a seat is not just comfort. An aisle seat may make it easier to get up. A seat closer to the front may reduce walking. A seat near a travel companion may be important for assistance. A seat with easier access may make the flight safer and less stressful. Now, this does not mean every airline will give you any seat you want. It does not mean you are guaranteed a free premium seat. But asking the right question is much better than immediately paying because the website made you panic. If you have a real need, explain it clearly. For example, "I have trouble walking long distances, so sitting closer to the front would help." Or, "I need easier aisle access because it is difficult for me to climb over other passengers." Or, "I am traveling with my spouse who helps me during the flight. Is there any way we can be seated together?" Again, common specific. Do not exaggerate. Do not make something up. Just explain the actual issue. And here's another tip. If the first person cannot help, ask again at the gate. Seats change all the time. People miss connections. Families get moved. Upgrades clear. Aircraft change. A seat that was unavailable yesterday may suddenly be open 40 minutes before boarding. So your action step is simple. Before you pay extra for a seat, call the airline or ask at check-in. Then ask again at the gate if needed. One polite question can sometimes save you money and make the flight much easier. Now, number 2 is one of the most overlooked parts of flying, and it usually happens when people are tired, annoyed, or desperate to get home. Number 2, do not accept a voucher too fast. This is where many travelers make a mistake. Their flight gets canceled, or delayed, or changed. They are tired. They are standing in a long line. The airline app is sending confusing messages. The gate agent is overwhelmed, and suddenly the airline offers something. A travel credit, a meal voucher, a hotel, a rebooking, a later flight, a connection through another city. And because the traveler just wants the problem to end, they accept the first option. But before you accept anything, slow down. Ask this question. What are my refund options if I choose not to travel? That question matters. Because in some situations, if the airline cancels or significantly changes your flight and you do not accept the alternative, you may have refund options. But if you accept the new flight or accept the travel credit or continue with the changed itinerary, your options may be different. That is why you do not want to click too fast. Do not panic click in the app. Do not accept a voucher just because it is the first button you see. Do not let a long line pressure you into making a decision you do not understand. Instead, ask, what are my refund options if I choose not to travel? Then ask, is this a refund or a travel credit? That second question is very important. A refund and a travel credit are not the same thing. A refund usually means money back to the original form of payment. A travel credit usually means money you can only use with that airline later, often with rules attached. So make them clarify. If they say, we can give you credit, ask, am I also eligible for a refund or only credit? Again, calm, not angry, just informed. This is especially important for seniors because travel plans can be less flexible. Maybe you are flying for a cruise. Maybe you have a medical appointment. Maybe you are visiting family for a specific event. Maybe arriving 24 hours late ruins the entire purpose of the trip, so do not accept the first thing just to get out of line. Ask the refund question first. And now we get to number 1. Before I get to number 1, if you find all this helpful, hit that subscribe button so I can continue making these videos. This is the one I would not fly without, especially if I were checking a bag. Number 1, put a tracker in your checked bag before the airline loses it. This is one of the simplest travel moves, and it can save hours of stress. If you check a bag, you are trusting the airline's tracking system. Most of the time, the bag arrives. But when it does not, the situation can become frustrating fast. You stand at the carousel. Everyone else gets their suitcase. The belt slows down, then it stops. Your bag is not there, so you go to the baggage desk. And what do they usually say? It looks like it is still in transit. Or, we are not sure yet. Or, file a claim and we will contact you. That is when many travelers lose control of the situation. They have no information. They have to rely completely on the airline system. But if you have a small luggage tracker inside your checked bag, you may be able to see where the bag is. Maybe it is still at your departure airport. Maybe it is in another terminal. Maybe it made it to your arrival airport but did not reach the carousel. Maybe it is nearby but the airline system has not updated yet. That information changes the conversation. Instead of saying, my bag is missing, you can say, I have a tracker in my checked bag and it is showing near this location. Can someone help check that area before we open a claim? That is a much stronger sentence. It gives the airline something specific to investigate, and it prevents you from wasting time if the bag is actually nearby. Here is how to do it. Place one tracker inside each checked bag. Do not attach it outside where it can be removed or broken. Put it inside a zip pocket or hidden compartment. Before you leave for the airport, make sure the battery works and the tracker is connected to your phone. When you land, check the tracker before you get to the carousel. If it shows the bag moving toward you, great. If it shows the bag in another city, you know immediately. If it shows the bag at your airport but not at the carousel, go to an agent with the location open on your phone and use the phrase, my tracker shows the bag is at this airport. Can someone physically check this area before we file it as missing? That phrase is important because you are not just complaining. You are giving them a location. For senior travelers, this matters even more. A lost bag may not just mean missing clothes, it could mean missing medication, missing medical supplies, missing comfortable shoes. So before your next flight, do not just hope the bag arrives, track it. And remember, the people who travel the smartest are not always the people who travel the most. They are the ones who know what to ask for before the problem happens. So subscribe now, save this video, and I'll see you in the next one.